Hello everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ciara Bowe and I am the principal of Scoil na Croise Naofa Mahan Holy Cross National School. I'm just making this video to give you all a reminder, and for those of you whose children are new to the school this year, an insight into our back to school arrangements and procedures, particularly around COVID-19. For those of you whose children attended the school last year, you will learn that in terms of our procedures for drop-off and collection, that not a lot has changed. And for those of you whose children are attending the first time, you will learn of what our plan is for the first morning and for the mornings after that, and on collection time. So I look forward to seeing everybody on the first morning. I'll be out at the gate on Tuesday morning bright and early, and I can't wait to see the smiling faces of our children back, and I know all of the staff feel the same. So on we go with the arrangements. So some important times for you all to keep in mind. Early start. Our preschool class will be back on Tuesday. They are starting at 8:50 a.m. and they will be finishing at 12 noon for the foreseeable future. If there's a change to the finish time, you'll be given plenty of notice. Junior infants, again, junior infant parents should have gotten a text message about this yesterday, Thursday. And if you didn't, please contact the school. There will be staggered times on the first morning, and these times were sent by text yesterday, Thursday, the 26th of August. So make sure you check the time that was in the text. Some pupils will be asked to arrive at 9 a.m., some at 9:10, and some at 9:20. In terms of the times every other morning, it'll be 8:50 a.m. And for the first 2 weeks up until September 10th, they will be finishing at 12 noon. They will finish at 1 p.m. for the 2 weeks until September 24th. And after that, from the 27th of September onwards, they will finish at their normal finishing time, 1:30 p.m. Senior infants from Tuesday the 31st, our first day back, will be at their full day time, which is 8:50 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And for first to sixth class, they will be at their times, which is 8:50 a.m. and 2:25 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. And there'll be more about that at the collection time page. Finally, Miss Murray's class should have all received a phone call by now from Miss Murray about the start times. You'll be starting at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, and Miss Murray will have outlined to you the times for all the other days. So in terms of our staffing, there have been a lot of changes. As you're aware, we've had some retirements and whatnot. So there has been some changes. So just to run through the class teachers maybe very quickly there. So early start, the class teacher is Chloe McGilligan, and Carmel, of course, will be there. Junior infants, Miss Elizabeth McCarthy, supported by Miss Barry. Senior infants, Mrs. Kelly, supported by Mrs. O'Loughlin. First class will be taught by Miss Shukru, supported by Mrs. Roach. Second class, Miss Kent will be teaching. Second class, supported by Mrs. Noonan. Third class will be taught by Miss Cooney and supported by Miss Kirby. Fourth class will be taught by Mr. O'Connell, supported by Miss Donovan. Fifth class will be taught by Miss Petrie, and sixth class will be taught by Mr. Collins, and both will be supported by Miss Collin. And as you can see, some of our other staffing there in terms of our SNAs, our homeschool community teacher, who a lot of you will be familiar with, Miss Heafy, support teacher Mr. Hayes, secretary Betty, and caretaker Dave, cleaners Mary and Catherine, and a bus escort will be joining us this year, Michelle O'Driscoll. So we're delighted to have all of our staff joining us from next week, and we look forward to a great year working together. If you have any further questions on that, you can contact the school. So I suppose an important thing to know is, when can your child not return to school next Tuesday or any other day after that? When can they not attend school? And these are the symptoms that we have been advised by the Department of Education as well as the HSC, in terms of if a child is displaying any of these symptoms, they cannot come back to school next Tuesday or any other day that they have these symptoms. So a temperature of 38 degrees Celsius or more, a new cough, a loss or change of their sense of taste or smell, shortness of breath or an existing breathing condition that has become worse, fatigue, aches or pains, and the other symptoms of COVID-19, which are particularly noticeable amongst children, especially with the Delta variant, such as if they have a sore throat, headache, diarrhea, a runny or stuffy nose, or if they feel sick or vomiting. Other reasons why they may not be able to return to school next Tuesday or must remain at home any other day would be if they have been in close contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19 or been living with someone who is unwell and may have COVID-19. And the HSC will be guiding you, or your GP will be guiding you in those. So what to do if your child has any of those symptoms is you do not send them to school and you contact your GP. So if your child has any of those symptoms, you must contact your GP before they can return to school, and you must follow the GP's advice. I appreciate that children often are unwell from time to time, and in ordinary circumstances, you may not contact your GP if they have a stuffy nose, or you may not contact their GP if they have a headache. But in this climate, if you want your child to return to school, you must contact your GP for their advice and follow their advice. So if your GP sends your child for a COVID-19 test, your child should remain at home until a negative test is received. If COVID-19 is not detected from the test, they can then return to school once their symptoms are clear, and that means that they are 48 hours symptom-free, and that is for all of those symptoms mentioned on the previous page. And if COVID is detected, they must self-isolate and follow the instructions from public health. A child must be symptom-free before 48 hours before they can return to school in any of the above circumstances, whether the doctor refers you for a COVID-19 test or not. And this is the case if your child is sent home from school if they are unwell. So if a child develops a headache or a sore throat or something similar in school, and we contact you and ask you to take them home and contact your GP, well, then they cannot return to school for 48 hours, and 48 hours only if they are symptom-free for those 48 hours. So please remember that we are dealing with the Delta variant of COVID-19 now. This is much more easily transmitted, especially amongst children. So we need to be extra careful and extra vigilant. So some of the ways you can help us in doing this: parents are asked not to wait at the gates in the morning or chat with other parents. So once you've said goodbye to your child, we would appreciate it if you would move off away from the school gates. Parents are asked to always wear a mask on school grounds, particularly inside the school gates. If wearing a mask is not possible, and we appreciate that can be the case, we ask instead that you say goodbye to your child at the gate and let them make their way to the door themselves. And then after school, wait for them outside the gate. Or if you feel your child needs to be brought to the door by an adult, if they're particularly young, you might ask another adult who can wear a mask to collect your child or drop your child. And if it is a case you need to speak to staff, we would appreciate that if you cannot wear a mask, that you phone the office rather than come to the school door, especially if you need to collect or drop a child or drop in something that they've forgotten, something like that. So please contact by phone rather than coming to the school door without a mask on. So for arrivals every morning, so we have two gates, as most of you are aware. The front gate, Early Start and Miss Murray's class would both enter via the front gate, and they would both make their way towards the Early Start door. An adult may accompany the children in Miss Murray's class and the Early Start class, but the adult must be wearing a mask, and staff will meet your child there and will take them inside from there. In terms of junior infants, an adult, again, wearing a mask, may bring their child to the front door and say goodbye to their child there. Staff will supervise your child from there. As your child becomes much more independent, you may choose to say goodbye to them at the gate and allow them walk to the front door by themselves. And we had that last year. Our junior infants very quickly became independent and liked to say goodbye to their parents at the gate. There will be staff, as I said, present at the gate and the front door and along the corridor as they make their way to their classroom. As I said, there will be special arrangements on the first morning so that parents can see their children settled in the classroom. They have been sent by text to parents, so please make sure that if your child is starting junior infants, please make sure that you got that text and make sure that you read it properly. Senior infants will again enter via the front gate. The parents again are encouraged to say goodbye to their children at the front gate and allow them walk to their door themselves. There will be staff at the gate and at the door, so they won't miss their entrance or anything like that. They also are very grown up, and as many of you know from last year when they wanted to walk in by themselves, for junior infants, I'm sure that they will feel the same way this year. So, you know, if they wish to do that, we'd encourage that. But of course, for the first few days, you may like to bring them to the door yourself. And there will be a member of staff, as I said, at the gate and each door. 5th and 6th class pupils, our most senior pupils, can say goodbye to their parents at the main gate and make their way to their own door. Again, there will be staff at the doors waiting for them. Our side gate, all other classes, so that's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th classes, they would say goodbye to their parents at the side gate or wherever they're dropped off. They can enter via the side gate and make their way to their own door. Ms. Barry, our deputy principal, will be at the side gate every morning, and there will be teachers at the doors to make sure, excuse me, that the children know where they're going. Again, we ask parents, once you've said goodbye to your children, not to wait at the gates in the morning or chat with other parents. And we really appreciate your help with that. In terms of collection times, junior infants, 12 noon initially, and as I discussed earlier, that will be extended over the first month. And senior infants at 1:30 p.m. Parents are asked not to arrive too early to collect your child. Again, if you do arrive, and it is on the early side, we'd appreciate if you waited outside the gates before you come in, as we don't really wish to have a queuing system as much as possible. We wish to minimise contacts at the school door. So junior infants will be collected from the door that they go in the morning, which is the main door. And senior infants will be collected from the door they go in the morning, which is the side emergency exit door. All parents should wear masks when they're on the school premises. All other times, all of the classes will finish at 2:25 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. 1st and later 3rd and 5th will be dismissed at 2:25 p.m. and they'll exit through their assigned door. 2nd, 4th and 6th will be dismissed from 2:30 p.m. and will exit through their assigned doors. Parents and students will be asked to leave the area outside or around the school as quickly as possible and not to gather with others. So just to confirm that, 1st, 3rd and 5th will be dismissed at 2:25 p.m. and 2nd, 4th and 6th will be dismissed at 2:30 p.m. 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th will be at the side gate, the same gate they go in, and 5th and 6th will be at the front gate, the same gate they go in. In terms of masks and ventilation, just for some assurances for you about what's going on inside the school. All staff will be wearing medical grade face masks at all times. Pupils are not required to wear face masks. However, I know that last year some parents really wanted their children to wear face masks in school. So the school would support and encourage that if the child or the parents wish that. Parents, though, should wear face masks at all times on or around school premises. In terms of ventilation, the windows will be open throughout the school day for good ventilation. So as the weather deteriorates as we go into autumn and of course winter, we would make sure that your child is wearing lots of layers and has a good coat for yard time. There will be plenty of fresh air breaks. I know the weather forecast is good for the first week certainly, and hopefully for September. So we will be making the most of the great space that we have outside. The school will also hopefully have received our CO2 monitors from the Department of Education by the time the children return to school, and those will be installed and in use. So in terms of school books and lunches, so the school lunches, Carambola provides these, and they will be provided from Tuesday. If you do not want your child to take the free lunches, please contact the school as soon as possible to cancel it so that there won't be waste. And that's particularly for, I suppose, our early start class and our junior infant classes. Up the other classes, if your child didn't take a lunch last year, they won't be on the list this year. So again, if you do want your child put on the list and they were not previously, again, contact us for that to be arranged. If you are choosing to send in your child's lunch from home, please ensure that it is a healthy school lunch and is in line with our healthy eating policy. See our website for the full details on that, but essentially there should be no chocolate spreads, and no nuts, no sweets, no fizzy drinks, no crisps. Please make sure that your child has all of the books that they need in their bag on Tuesday. The teachers will take them off them, so don't worry, they won't have to carry the really heavy bag for long. The book lists are on our website if you have mislaid yours. So they are under the documents and policies page of our website, and you'll find a special page for book lists. In terms of payments, school supplies money, which is due from all classes, so and the money for the book rental scheme, which is due from 3rd to 6th class, that should please be sent in to the class teacher as soon as possible. The book rental scheme is €20 from 3rd to 6th class. It's great value. The books that you are being rented would probably cost 3 times that price to purchase, if not more. And in terms of the school supplies money, that money is put towards the journal, as art and craft supplies, folders, copybooks, additional copybooks, photocopying, and lots of other school supplies that are provided by the teachers and purchased by the teachers. And don't forget, as with last year, your child will need their own little toilet bag. That can be as simple as a Ziploc bag or a sandwich bag. And in that, we would ask that all children have their own tissues and their own little face cloth, something as something small as maybe a ripped up old towel or a face cloth, and which should be changed regularly, and a little bottle of hand gel. There's plenty of hand gel in the school for use, but it can be handy for them to have some in their own bag for them to access themselves quickly. In terms of preparing your child for the return to school, talk to your child and discuss about coming back to school with them. See how they're feeling: happy, relieved, excited, nervous. Some might be desperately unhappy, and that's just the teachers. But look, reassure them however they are feeling. It is natural. Some of them might be extremely excited to get back in. Obviously, some people are starting school for the first time, and that is extremely exciting. But obviously, nerves are a natural part of this too. So reassure them that however they are feeling, that is natural and that is okay. Remind them that the staff, the teachers, the SNAs, secretary, everybody in school and their friends are excited to see each other again. We hope that everybody has had a wonderful summer and has enjoyed the fine weather and the opportunities to be outdoors. But we are excited to see each other again. Remind your child about the importance of hand washing, keeping their distance as much as is practically possible, and of listening to the adults in the school who are there to help them. If your child is extremely nervous or extremely anxious and you are worried about them, please do contact us and let us know, and we'll keep an extra close eye on him or her over the first few days and weeks. The Department of Education has also supplied videos with advice about helping your child as he or she goes back to school. That's the link there, but I also have placed a link to all those videos on our school website. It should be on the front page of the website when you open it. So please do, if you have a few moments, check out that page so that you can share information with your child about helping them go back to school. Finally, we just ask everybody to remember that we must all work together to ensure that everyone in the school community, our pupils, our staff, parents, and people in the wider Mahon community are as safe as possible every day. If you have any concern or question ahead of going back to school or in the days and weeks as we go back to school, don't forget that you can always contact school staff by ringing the office on 021 435 7852. Betty or myself will make arrangements for messages to be passed on to teachers, or if necessary for teachers to contact you back. Maeve Heafy is our homeschool community liaison teacher. As many of our parents know, she was always available to talk to parents about their concerns, and again pass on messages or help parents arrange anything that they need. So please contact Maeve on 086 0707 155. And finally, of course, you can always email us info@holycrosscork.ie. We are really looking forward to seeing all of our pupils next Tuesday, seeing all of their smiling faces. We hope you've all had a wonderful summer and that everyone is safe and well. And as I said, I look forward to seeing smiling faces on Tuesday morning, 31st of August next at 8:50 a.m. Gurv Mila Mahagat agus Slán go fóill.